The starship drifted through quiet space, carrying a young woman who had once lived far from the company of humans. Her name was Lyra, daughter of a great alien queen whose realm stretched across clusters of distant stars. Yet she was returning to a part of the universe she had not seen since childhood, and she was not returning alone. At her side stood a human guardian named Rowan, a calm and steady figure who had promised her safety in any world she entered. Lyra's return was not meant to start conflict. She wanted answers, understanding, and a sense of her own identity. Rowan understood this better than anyone. Lyra had grown up hearing stories about humans, but most of those stories had been shaped by alien pride and misunderstanding. She had been told that humans acted with reckless instinct, moved too quickly, spoke too boldly, and challenged too many rules. Yet when she met Rowan years earlier on a remote research moon, she had discovered a side of humanity that had never been described to her. Rowan listened more than he spoke. He asked questions with sincerity. He showed patience during the long cycles when Lyra felt uncertain. Over time, she realized that humans were far more complex than the tales repeated in her mother's palace. She chose Rowan as her guardian, not because she needed protection, but because she trusted him. As the ship glided toward her home system, Lyra stared at the glowing horizon of the planet where she had been born. The sky of her childhood was filled with shimmering rings of light. It was said that the rings reflected the energy of the royal line, and that no 2 days ever glowed the same. Rowan watched the light dance over the console, and he sensed the mix of anticipation and anxiety filling Lyra's thoughts. He knew this journey mattered more than she admitted. Rowan placed a gentle hand near her seat and spoke in a calm tone. He reminded her that she did not need to prove anything to anyone. He told her that returning home did not mean she was controlled by her past. She nodded, though her eyes remained fixed on the planet, growing larger in the viewing panel. She wondered how her mother would react to her arrival. She wondered how her people would feel seeing her stand beside a human. She hoped they would see Rowan the way she did, kind, steady, thoughtful. When the ship touched down on a landing field of smooth silver stone, Lyra stepped out first. Her world welcomed her with a soft breeze that carried the scent of glowing plants and crystalline water sources. Rowan stepped beside her, taking in the vast architecture shaped like spirals and rising towers of glass-like material. The alien city shimmered with gentle brightness, as if shaped by stories rather than metal. Lyra's heart tugged as memories resurfaced. She remembered running across these very stones when she was small. She remembered the warm songs sung by caretakers. She remembered the shadow of the queen, who always seemed to stand too far away. As they walked through the city, the locals stared. Some recognized the markings on Lyra's cheeks that showed she was born of royal lineage. Others stared at Rowan with curiosity. Humans rarely entered the Queen's world, and those who did were usually diplomats or travelers, not guardians of those tied to the throne. Rowan stayed composed. He continued walking beside Lyra with steady steps. He understood that he represented his people in this moment. Lyra appreciated the way he kept his presence calm and respectful. They finally reached the palace, a vast structure that shone with the glow of 1,000 moons. Lyra paused as the doors opened. Inside, the hall stretched long and high, filled with carvings of past queens who had shaped their world with wisdom and resolve. At the end of the hall stood the current queen, Lyra's mother, tall and graceful, her presence as firm as the ancient stones beneath her feet. Her eyes rested on Lyra first. Then, slowly, they moved to Rowan. The queen stepped forward with composed elegance. She welcomed Lyra home, though her voice carried layers of emotion that she struggled to hide. She expressed surprise at the presence of a human guardian. Lyra explained that Rowan had been her companion during her years of searching for purpose. She said he had shown her that many misunderstandings existed between their species. Rowan bowed politely, offering the queen a respectful greeting. He spoke with clarity, saying he was honored to stand with Lyra. The queen listened, observing the connection between them. She had expected her daughter to return one day, but she had not expected her to return with someone from a world so different. Many in the court watched with mixed reactions. Some saw Rowan as a symbol of unity. Others whispered that it disrupted tradition. Lyra felt the pressure of their eyes on her, but she stayed beside Rowan with calm confidence. The queen invited them to a private chamber, where they could speak without the whispers of the court. Once inside, she asked Lyra why she had left years ago. Lyra explained that she wanted to understand the universe beyond royal duties. She wanted to see life without the constant weight of expectation. She wanted to know what it meant to choose her own path. Rowan remained silent, allowing Lyra to speak freely. The queen listened closely, and Rowan could sense her conflicting feelings. She was proud of Lyra's courage, yet uncertain how her people would react to these changes. Lyra told her mother that Rowan had helped her see the beauty of human resilience. She said he had helped her understand that strength did not always come from power or lineage. Sometimes strength came from empathy, cooperation, and the willingness to build bridges rather than walls. The queen studied Rowan with a keen, evaluating gaze. She asked him what he believed about her daughter's destiny. Rowan replied that he believed Lyra had the heart to guide her people toward a brighter future. He said she could bring new understanding to a universe that often misunderstood itself. His tone was sincere. The queen recognized this sincerity, and it softened her expression. Later that day, the queen invited them to a gathering with leaders from each region of the planet. Lyra stood before them and shared her experiences living among humans. She spoke of their creativity, their adaptability, and their determination to keep moving forward even when challenges rose before them. She described the warmth with which they treated newcomers. She emphasized that Rowan was not with her to influence alien culture, but to support her as she sought connection between species. The leaders listened with curiosity. They asked Rowan about human values. Rowan described the way humans work together in times of uncertainty. He shared stories of communities helping one another during harsh seasons on distant colonies. He explained that humans were not perfect, but continued trying to improve. His words painted a picture of a species striving to grow and understand. Throughout the gathering, Lyra felt a growing sense of belonging. She realized that she did not have to choose between her alien heritage and the life she had built among humans. She could hold both truths within herself. She could honor her roots while embracing the new perspectives she had gained. As the cycles passed, Rowan and Lyra spent time exploring the planet. Rowan learned that the glowing plants responded gently when touched. He learned that the water sources shifted colors with temperature. He admired the gentle creatures that moved softly under the ringed sky. Lyra introduced him to the traditions of her people, from the morning songs to the evening lights that sparkled across the horizon. Rowan shared human traditions in return, telling stories of festivals, journeys, and the simple joy of sitting together in silence. News of Lyra's return and her human guardian spread across the world. Many citizens grew curious about the human perspective. Rowan found himself answering questions from young learners, historians, and explorers. He explained human achievements in travel, communication, and medicine, but he focused most on the values of cooperation and hope. The citizens listened with enthusiasm. They had never heard such a direct and genuine account from a human before. The queen watched these interactions with growing approval. She saw how her daughter had matured. She saw how Rowan's presence helped her people understand the broader universe. She realized that her daughter's journey had brought more light to their world than she expected. The palace advisors slowly shifted their opinions as well. Instead of resisting change, they began to see opportunity. One evening, The queen asked Lyra and Rowan to join her at the top of the palace tower. From there, the rings lit up the sky with layered light that shimmered across the city. The queen told Lyra that she had worried for years about her daughter's absence, but now she understood that those years had shaped her into someone capable of leading with wisdom beyond her age. She acknowledged Rowan's influence with gratitude. She said he had shown her a side of humanity she had never seen. Lyra felt relief wash over her. She had feared disappointment, but instead she found acceptance. Rowan stood quietly, humbled by the queen's words. He had never expected recognition. He had only wanted to support Lyra as she discovered who she wanted to be. The queen proposed the creation of a new Council of Interspecies Cooperation. She asked Lyra to guide it. She invited Rowan to join as an advisor, representing human insight. Lyra accepted with heartfelt gratitude. Rowan accepted as well, knowing it would open new pathways between their worlds. In the following cycles, the council began shaping a future built on shared understanding. They encouraged knowledge exchange between species. They welcomed visitors from human colonies. They sent ambassadors to learn from DIST.